All right. We're gonna roll with this one. I don't know what's happening to the other ones. Trying to figure all this out on the fly. Give it a second for some people to get on here. Give it till like 2 minutes. See who all jumps on here, if anyone. Let's see, I'm gonna try and figure out some of these features. Alright, 30 more seconds and I'll get to talking. Give it 20 more seconds. If anyone's got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I plan on being on here for a little while. If some guys get on here, or see what everyone has to say. All right, we're at 2 minutes. So, sorry about the lack of fishing videos lately. Fishing's been tough. The weather conditions have been tough, really. It's been raining every week. Usually on the days I work, and then when I'm off, all the creeks are flooded, and it's cold on top of that. So it has not been the greatest, but we'll get there. I'm driving around today, driving home from work. I saw a lot of the trees are blooming already, so the trees know it's time. We just gotta wait on the weather to cooperate and the fish to get on board. So it'll happen soon. Give it another week or two, and we just need some warm weather, really. It's been a cold February compared to the rest of the winter, but so I've just been kind of getting ready. I didn't even fish this week. I just knew better. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I thought about going out to try and throw something together, but I wanted to wait and see if I can wait for a little better conditions. That way it'll be a little better. Let's see, Fishing with Fredo says, "What's up, buddy? It's been kind of getting ready. I didn't even finish this week. I just knew better. I just knew better. I knew it was going to be good." Yeah, man, this weather's just crazy. I'm just ready for spring. There ain't no other way to put it. I'm just ready for spring. So it's all good, man. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been on here live trying to get this thing going, and it just hasn't worked out. I think I got it now, though. I'm just gonna let it roll. So, you been doing any fishing, Fredo? You been out lately? I know Louisville's been a mess with the water going through it. You been doing any fishing? I'm getting ready for sand bass to start up. That's next on the list. The crappie aren't really doing much right now, and until that water warms up, they're not going to be doing much. So it's sand bass time. I've been down to 1 day a week I've been able to fish, and like I said, most of the time it's right after 3 or 4 inches of rain, and it's been in the 40s for 3 or 4 days. So, and then yesterday morning it was like 25. Fredo says, no, I have been working on the man cave and raising a grandson. Yeah, that's not a bad thing to do, especially this time of year. You're not missing much. It's definitely not the best time to be out there. So I've been I actually went to Bass Pro, had the Crappie Madness going on, and I got some sand bass, well, just some jigs in general. I got some Bobby Garland Monkey Milk. It's always good. I got some Lunker City finesse shads. These right here are killer for sand bass. And the creeks, those are killer. I usually get a couple packs of them a year and go through them pretty quick, but this one right here for a little clear water, it's a little like salt and pepper type. That one's good in clear water. And when that water is chocolate milk, this one right here is hard to beat. Solid white. You can put a pink head on there or orange head. I like bright color, like a bright jig head, and then just a white body. The white body seems to be best in the muddy water I've found. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, is just stacking up on that, and got some let's see, Fredo says, tell you what, Anthony, you get with me on Louisville and we will have a blast and slay the crappie while we are at it. I'm down. I have a weird work schedule. I don't know about you. I'm usually off like during the week, Thursday, Friday. Usually can't fish too much on the weekend, and usually I don't really care to fish on the weekends. Just too many people, and especially in the summer, there's too many crazy people out. But yeah, I mean, if you find yourself off one of those days, let me know. I'm down. We can take, your boat or my boat. Excuse me. Your boat or my boat. We can go give them a shot. Louisville's been at Lake. I mean, I hadn't done good out there the last couple of years. I don't know why. I just lost my mojo out there. But it just goes with the territory. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But those I'm ready to get on some sand bass. Like I said, that water's still. I bet that water's in the upper 40s still. It's got to get at least like 55. We got to get a warm rain. Warm rain will help. Fredo says, hey, that's all right. I would take a vacation day. I have plenty of days. I'm down. Sounds good, man. I'll be out of. I won't be fishing too much here in the next few weeks. My son's actually getting ready to be born any day, really. So I'll be limited to when I can go, but I'm gonna still try and get out some. Just let me know. I'll see what we got going on and see if we can make it happen. Yeah, let me see. So I've been I got some jigs from Limits Tackle. Man, Steve makes some really good baits. I don't know if anyone knows. You can find them on Facebook. I mean, look at that. Great looking baits. Fredo says, woo wee, congrats, brother. Thanks, man. I'm excited. Can't wait. Counting down the days. Got my phone with me at all times. I'm ready. Fredo says, is this your first? Yep, first. First son, first kid. As soon as he's big enough, he's gonna be beside me. We're gonna be fishing. The wife will go too. She loves fishing too. But these baits are good. They're durable. Give him a shout if you need some plastics or jig heads. I get all my jig heads from him now. He makes some really good jig heads. I'll kind of show you. This is a tackle box I've been putting together. I got I think like 150 or 125 jig heads from him the other day. Painted them all, different sizes, weights. Little, I don't know if you can see it, little keepers on it like that. those are good, especially for shooting docks here in a couple months, or in the sand bass in the spring when you're casting. That way, when you miss a fish or bump the bottom, or it doesn't pull that jig off. But I got some hand ties in here too. I've been tying. I don't really tie a whole lot of them, but let's see. I really can't show them. There's some hand ties. Just got some bobbers for the creeks. And I just got, a handful of colors. I'm not crazy with the colors. I usually like bright. If I had to choose one, I'd say pink. Pink jig head in general is hard to beat. I got, majority of what I got in here is pink. I just like pink. I think it's just a confidence thing. So color really doesn't make a whole lot of difference, I don't think. But got some white, some orange, chartreuse. Just 16th ounce heads, and then 1/8 ounce. Really don't use anything else, but I'm stocked up and ready to go. I'm just waiting on this weather to get right and get a good weather day, and I'm gonna go get after them. Fredo says, I remember telling my son-in-law, you see this crappie on the table? You mess up, you get gutted. That's funny. I bet he didn't mess it up. Didn't mess up. That's funny. You gotta do what you gotta do, huh? So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of give an update. Like I said, haven't been fishing much. Didn't even try this week. It was 25 degrees when I woke up on Friday. That was my only day to go try, and I just really wasn't. The conditions weren't right, and from what all the reports I've been hearing, it was a good choice, because they're just, sand bass are trickling in. There's not a whole lot of them. That water's still too cold, but give it a couple weeks. Like I said, by the 1st of March for sure, they'll be moving in. So I'm gonna start looking. Hopefully next week. I got one day. Looks like it's gonna rain again, like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, Thursday morning maybe. So I'm gonna try and go Friday somewhere. I'm not sure for sure, but I'm gonna try and go. Probably just walk the creeks and try and see if there's some sand bass moving in. Sand bass, they're not as finicky and fickle as them crappie are. They don't mind. They'll bite when the weather's not real good if they're in there. Them crappie, they get weird. I get to where I don't even really fish for them in the spring that much anymore. They're just too finicky. And I like the sand bass thumps. I don't ever keep them, but man, there's nothing better than a thump from a sand bass and about pull you in the water. Them things fight and they thump hard. And you can catch a whole lot of them too whenever they're in there. So still a little early on the creek, and on the creeks, I should say. And the main lake, man, it's been blowing, and then all the rain. They got the gates open on just about every lake around here. Every lake I can think of, they got the gates open. I think Joe Pool, they don't. I think there's a lake out west they don't. Is it Worth, or I think it might be Worth or Eagle Mountain. One of them two, they don't have it. I think Benbrook either. But the rest of them, Levon and Ray Hubbard, I think is a little bit low too. But Grapevine, Ray Roberts, Louisville, Cedar Creek, lakes out east, they all got the gates wide open. So as soon as they settle down a little bit, I'll go out and try. And then I have, I meant to bring it over here. I forgot to bring it. I have a hook, Lowrance Hook 7, I think it is, for my graphs. And to be honest, they're not the best graphs, especially fishing out deep. It's just not the best. I can't really see out past 20-25 foot. Fredo says, gonna get new tires and you let me know what lake. Man, that sounds good to me. Speaking of tires, man, I need to get me some tires. I told the wife that the other day. I need to get some tires. I've burned through them tires going to Cedar Creek and all over the place. I need to get some new tires for sure. Especially, getting ready to, drive around and all that. So I'll be off for 6 weeks. Hook City says, pop in to say what's up. I watch later. Currently sitting on an airplane. The Wi-Fi isn't the best. Man, I know how that is. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Safe flight. Safe travels. Yeah, so I need to get new tires. That's on there. I need to get it. And I got to change the oil in the boat, too. If I don't take the boat, I might do that one day next week or this week. Just change the oil. I changed it myself. It's just a lot cheaper, and Bass Pro wants to just to rip off. They want too much money to do all that, so I'll probably do that. Get that out the way. That way, when the fish are biting and I have time, I can go. So, especially because when I'm able to go, I'm gonna have to just go. I'm not gonna be able to, I'm not gonna have a whole lot of options when to go. So, anybody else got any questions? You got anything you wanna know where they're, how the conditions are, or what's getting ready to happen with these sand bass moving in the creeks? These sand bass are the first one. Them hybrids, from what I can tell, unless it's like a spillway, them hybrids really don't move up the creek this early. Usually they're later. So that's what I'm waiting on. Them crappie are still being weird. I mean, I had a good trip. Not this last video, but the video before that, I had a pretty decent trip. Found some on a bridge. That was fun. I hadn't got on a bridge bite like that in a while. But it was fun. They were nice fish, solid fish, fat fish, full of eggs. I cleaned a lot of them. My in-laws took some, and then I cleaned the rest. I think I cleaned like 8. And a couple of them were females with eggs, really, really yellow, so I need to make a trip back down there whenever I get some time. And new tires. I need to get new tires. That's pretty bad. But we'll see. I'm trying to think of what else I need to go over. I think that's pretty much it. Fredo says I'm actually doing my outro with you talking right now. LOL. Hey man, you gotta do it when you can do it. You gotta make it happen when you can. I know how that is. So yeah, so hopefully next week. I mean, I want to be. That's the one thing I want to be. I want to be transparent on here. I don't want to be, posting saying that I'm catching them all the time, even when I'm not, because a lot of times I'm not. That just goes with the territory. Fish aren't. You just don't go and fish and limit every single time. You just don't. There's more times that I get skunked than I catch a lot of fish. So that's just part of the course. Mark Williams says that's fishing. Yep, that's true. That's why it's called fishing and not catching. But I do not like to not go out. I do not like to go out and not catch fish. My goal is to catch fish. Period. Brian Mullen says, what kind of docks do you look for when shooting docks? Deep, shallow, creek channel? It's a good question. I would say that depends. I would say when the fish are actually spawning, I personally like when they're actually spawning. I like, let's say March, April, early April. I like docks that are in the back of the coves, and I would say 2 to 7 foot, something like that. And I like the docks with the biggest platform they have. Like the bigger the better. The more shade that dock puts off, the better. In general, that's always a good thing to look for. So I like the big docks, the big platforms. back in the back of coves, and 2 to 7 foot roughly. And every dock is not created equal. There's docks that hold fish year after year, and then there's some that are sporadic. But it seems like for the most part, there's certain docks that hold fish every year. And then when the fish get done spawning, usually mid to late April into May, I like main lake docks. Main lake docks, again, with the big platforms, the big decks on them, and a little deeper water. I'd say I remember from years past, like 4 to 10 foot was a pretty good range. There's some deeper fish on deeper docks and some fish on shallower docks, but it seems like that depth range was the best. And then I just followed them out from the spawning coves out to the main lake. And then after that, once it gets hot about June, I really don't even mess with the docks. You can catch some on the docks, but it seems like the deeper docks, and there's not a whole lot of deep docks with good shade, and especially depending on if the lake's already low or what. But those after about June, those dock fish get real limited. Peak time for me is like April, May, I would say. And again, it just depends on the weather and the water level. But I was seeing a lot of the lakes out east are full, so they should be good to go come spring for dock shooting. I definitely have some videos of that. I love dock shooting, so I will be out there pretty soon, the next month or two. Again, depending on the weather. But Brian asked, "What's my biggest crappie?" That's funny. I have to think. I really don't. I'm trying to think. I really don't have one that stood out that was for sure the biggest one I'd ever caught. I really hadn't caught any that was like that. I mean, I've caught a lot of solid, 14, 15 inchers. And nothing that I could think of that makes me think, oh, that was a really big one. I would say probably my biggest is probably like 15 and a half. I've caught some really heavy fish that weren't big. I remember one year when the lakes were flooded, and I had the slips, I caught a fish that was like 14 inches, and I didn't weigh it, but I guarantee you it was like every bit of 2.5 pounds. Its belly was like this. I mean, it looked like it had swallowed like a baseball. I don't know what was wrong with it, but this was in like June too. Yeah, so sorry, Brian, I really don't have like a specific answer. And that's the thing too. I don't actively hunt big fish, so I don't really, keep track or anything like that. I'm a numbers guy. I want to go out and catch 100, 200, pound and a half fish. I'm not into fishing all day for 4 or 5 bites. It's just not me. That's part of why I like sand bass too in the creeks. I mean, you can go in there and catch 200 or 300 fish on good days, pretty easy. Your arms will be sore when you're walking back to the truck. So, Mark Williams says, CC finally full and creek's not dry anymore. Yep, that lake came up a lot. They got the gates wide open too. I'm glad. That lake needed some water. A lot of the lakes, need some water. So I don't mind the rain. I just wish it wasn't cold, and I wish it wasn't continuously raining every week right before I have some days off. Let me see. Fishing with Fredo. Kid, have you ever fished with a relay jig for a long of time? I'm not sure what a relay jig is. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Fredo. Relay jig. Mark Williams, glad nothing could run up the creeks this year. Yeah, that's true. You could, but you wouldn't make it very far. If you could even get in there, really. Fredo said, I'm sorry, bro, I meant a really light jig. I'd say the lightest jig I fish with is 16th ounce. I really don't go any lighter. In the slips, when I had slips, I would used to go to like 32nd ounce. And I don't know, I just don't have the patience for those really light. Sometimes they work, but it seems the 16th is a pretty good, middle ground. I want to say I had like some 124th ounce. I don't know if those are, I'm trying to think if those are lighter than no, I think they're a little heavier than a 16th. I don't know, they're lighter, I think. I don't remember, but 124th ounce isn't too bad. Sometimes it helps, especially I've found, especially when the bite's real finicky, especially in the summertime. That 16th ounce jig, slowly falling on top of the brush will get them fish to bite a little better. And then I usually use 2 16th ounce on the bridges when I fish bridges, unless I need 1/8 ounce or if it's wind's blowing or something. See, Mark said dry on the main lake side. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know exactly how low the lake was, but it was definitely low. It was it's been crazy how, just like that, them lakes fill. It's funny how that is. Just when we, get low and say we need some rain, all of a sudden it floods and fills them up real quick. I'm just glad that all the lakes got some water. Still would like to get some water in some other lakes. I'd like to get Joe Pool back to normal pool. I'd like to get that lake back to normal pool and Ray Hubbard back to normal pool. Fredo says, you're right about the patience part, but I remember one year before I started the channel, I was fishing a 32nd ounce for the entire year and did fairly well. Yeah, they work. They work. There's no doubt about that. But like I said, I'm just impatient. I like to drop that jig down there, and I can tell pretty quick, Now, if I know there's fish there, I might experiment a little more. If I've been catching fish there and I can see them and I know they're not biting, I might experiment a little more. But most of the time, I want to get down there and, fish a minute or two and see if I catch any fish. That'll tell me if those fish are active or not. And if they're not, I'm gone. But like I said, in the slips, I do remember those 32nd ounce. They did help on a lot of times. Just pitch it out, let it fall. The fish would nail it. Let's see, Mark. Live 2 minutes from Cedar Creek, 5 minutes from Lacey. Yeah, you're right. You're right there. Some good fishing up in that area. I wish I lived that close to Cedar Creek. I might get in trouble. My wife would never see me. I'd always be at the lake if I lived that close to Cedar Creek. Yeah, I love that lake. Cedar Creek's a fun lake. I'm gonna try and fish a little more. Try and experiment a little more this year. Fish different lakes, and I'll fish, Cedar Creek some, but definitely mix it up. I don't want to keep fishing the same stuff for you guys, and I don't really like fishing the same stuff either. I like to mix it up and learn new lakes and, see new things and, learn new lakes. Jason Lane says, do you think the Panoptix is worth the money or hold out for the Humminbird to put something similar out? It's a good question. It depends on, it depends on what, I don't know how often you fish, but, I know me, if I had the extra money, I would buy it. But is it a necessity? No. I catch fish just fine without it. But it would be cool to have. It's a cool tool, especially if you fish tournaments. I think tournaments is where that thing really stands out. You can pick, I only fished with it one time, and I could literally pick out the bigger size fish and drop a jig on it and catch it, which is pretty cool for tournaments. But for me, like I said, if I had the extra money, I would get it. First thing I'd get is a spot lock trolling motor, if you don't have that, especially for my boat. That boat drifts like no other. So, but yeah, if you have the money, and then a Humminbird, I don't know when they're going to put something out. I would think it's probably going to be a little while. I know Lowrance tried to put something out, and I saw it, and it was not remotely close. I don't think that was worth the money at all. If you're gonna spend the money on that kind of thing, you want to go ahead and get the Garmin. And I would definitely have one if I had extra money laying around. It's pretty steep. They'll go down eventually. and I'll probably get one at some point. But is it a necessity? No. Fish on Fredo. I have a friend that lives right on the lake, and I have never been there. LOL. And he is constantly inviting me down there. I really need to go. Yeah, man, that's the greatest. When you have friends on the lake, you can just go down there and pop up and hang out and fish. And that's what I wish I got to do more of, is like go and spend the night down at the lake. And you know, especially like lakes with docks, man. I'm just thinking about this the other day, is go and, you know, in the summertime and go fish those lighted docks at night and catch hybrids and sand bass. That was fun. I did that before with Ernest. I think Guy was there too. It's been a while. I think Guy and Ernest took me doing that when I went down there with them when I first started fishing. I mean, I was like 15 or 16, I think. That was fun though. That was something else. Let's see. Mark Williams. Humminbird has 360. Yeah, Humminbird has a 360. I just need like a. I want to get a. What is it called? The Helix. The Humminbird Helix. I want to get one of those. I don't even. I mean, just this beam that I have is not like. It's not the strongest for sure. Like I said, about 25 foot deeper, it's pretty much useless. You can see shades and, you know, this and that, but nothing worth it. Fredo says, I'm thinking of parting ways, parting out of my 997. Let me know if you're interested. And I would love to. Right now, I can't be buying anything, unfortunately. With the sun on the way, I'm getting ready to be off for, you know, a month and a half too, so I need to hold on. But in the future, for sure, I'll definitely let you know if I ever get some money saved up. And there's not too many people that have a 997 left. Those are old school. Those are like, you almost hate to sell it. It's like a Pioneer to the side imaging. Those are hard to find now. Harder to find. But yeah, so I'm ready for some spring. I was looking at the weather forecast. It looks like I said, today was nice because I had to work. Whenever I have to work, it's beautiful outside. I had to work today, and it was like 75, and you know, I think it was a little breezy, but it was beautiful. Sunshine, and felt like spring. Birds were chirping, and trees are blooming. I definitely maybe want to go fish. But I think tomorrow's supposed to be even warmer, and then I think a front tomorrow night, and then it looks like rain for on and off for a few days. And Fredo says, dang, it may have to be a congrats gift then. Yeah, it may have to. Yeah, I need to get a spot lock trolling motor before anything right now. The boat that I had have a Bass Tracker Heritage 2018. I forget, I think it's 16 or so. I forget how long it is, but it's a good boat. I love the boat, but man, that thing drifts. It drifts like no other. Let's see. Jason Lane, have you started searching for the crappie and moving to the shallows, or is that something you're getting ready for? Jason, I have not started looking yet. In my experience, the water is too cold here right now. I do know some lakes out east, around the Tyler area, they're going to be heating up really quick. Within the next couple weeks, I would say, there are going to be some fish on the bank spawning over there. Assuming, you know, we get out of this cold pattern. This cold weather's really been, you know, pushing everything back. But when we do, what I look for, this is when I tell you when I really get serious. Whenever we get I'd say no less than 3 day warm days and warm nights, like lows at night in the 50s. Mark says, I know where they are already waiting for them. Yep, I think I know too. It's getting real close out there. I know it's getting close. A couple more days like this, and there would be fish on the bank for sure, like real quick. But you get 3 or 4 nights in the 50s, even like the upper 40s, and then you string together 3 or 4 days of 60s, 70s, and then fish they're gonna move quick. I mean, I've seen it happen like overnight. You get a couple warm days, getting butting up to each other. You get some warm days and nights, and they move up. Mark says, been catching the last 2 weeks, just starting. Yep, usually February, them fish. It's funny how many people say that the fish do not spawn in February, and that they wait till March or April. If you're waiting till March or April to go look for spawners, you're missing a lot of good fishing. You just have to know where to look. Everywhere's different. Like Mark says, I know too. I'm pretty sure I know where he's talking about. There's some lakes out east that are getting ready to getting ready to get good, if they're not already. Yeah, I mean it's getting close, but when we get Jason, back to your question, whenever we get that many days and warm nights together, I will be looking. I will be looking after that. That warms that water up real quick. Mark says, I've caught them here at Cedar Creek in January spawning because of warm days. Yep, they will. Especially black crappie. Black crappie will spawn earlier than whites, in my experience. I have a buddy who goes down to Cedar Creek sometimes and catches some fish, spawning in like February or, that's with every lake, Cedar Creek and those lakes out east, they get going a little quicker. It just, it's all the weather and just depends. Mark says, never last first front, they move back out. Yep. That's why I say these, man, the longer I fish, those, I'm starting to get where I don't really care for those spawning crappie. And once I know, there's areas that I know once it gets to a certain point, they're going to be there. Let me get a water real quick. Give me 1 second. Get some water. But there's some areas that I know once, hold on. There's some areas once I know that, a certain time of year they're going to be there, I'll go look. But right now, it's mostly going to be creeks. In my experience, most of the time it's going to be creeks or the far opposite ends away from the dam. Like the extreme, as far as you can go, or up in the creeks as far as you can go. That's where they'll start first. But Mark, yeah, I'm just getting to where I don't really care for those flip-floppy, wishy-washy crappie on the spawn, especially right now. I usually just go fish for the sand bass, and they're a lot easier to catch. Fredo, I have a feeling here on Louisville it will be pretty dang close for the spawn. I did terrible on the spawn last year. I was way too late. Yeah, it's getting close. They need the... yeah, it's getting close. They need to shut those gates off though. Once that water stabilizes, then fish will move in. The water's doing this, then fish don't go to the bank. You got fish like marinas and brush and stuff like that, staging areas. Sorry, but I'm trying to look at all these comments. Let's see, I did pretty terrible. What time of year did you start? I'd say usually them fish are usually spawning somewhere on that lake in late February. Main lake is usually like March or April, from what I've found. Jason, when do you start looking, or are you gonna primarily fish with bobber, or does it just depend? Jason, I'll start looking whenever we get a few nights and a few warm nights and a few warm days string together. And most likely it'll be in a creek. So, and it depends. Most of the time I'm just usually vertical jigging with the, I got a 12 foot, I actually got it right here. 12-foot rod. 12 foot is a custom sniper rod my buddy made. He even put my name on it. It's pretty cool. But this is a 12-foot rod. I usually just use this and just dip. I don't even have a reel on it. I just, this little Mr. Crappie reel on there. Just fishing shallow, and I just usually dip around like this and just dip, dip, dip and find fish. I usually find that's a little more effective than the jig and bobber. But it just depends on where the fish are at, really. Mark, or hit a power plant lake. Yeah, you can hit a power plant lake. I guarantee you them power plant lakes are good right now if you know where to go. That water should be perfect right now. I don't really fish too many of them, so I really not much of a help on that. But I would assume it's not too much different than a normal lake, just a little bit ahead. Fredo, can you tell I got rid of the grandson? LOL. Started around May. Yeah, May's usually they're pretty much done by May, usually. If you do fish in May, go fish the rocks on the dam. And that's just across the board. I've caught fish spawning on the dam, on the lake, on my home lake, up until June, like first, second week of June. And people don't believe it, but I mean, they had their tuxedos on and they dumped it hard. They were spawning. Usually that's about the last of it though. Oh, nice rod, man. Thanks, man. Just bought a bone stick and can't wait to try it. I've heard of them. Whoops. I've heard of them. I need to try them out. I'm trying to think of where I heard of them from. I think it was on Crappie Fishing Fools or something like that. Mark Williams spawn in January. Yeah, some spawn in January. Especially, yeah, those power plant lakes. It's like kind of like Florida. Florida, them fish spawn in January too. South Texas. Make sure I got everyone's question answered. This is fun though. I do enjoy this. Thanks for being on here with me tonight. I know it's kind of hectic getting on here and getting rolling, but I appreciate everyone taking some time and tuning in. I kind of want to do this more often. So definitely that's the plan, to do this more often. Don't forget, if you haven't, subscribe. Leave a comment. Like this for me if you don't mind. It would definitely help me out. And hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time I go live or post a video or something like that. Let's see. Fredo, because of your recommendation, I'll try a Sam Heaton Super Sensitive also. I think I got that right here too. I got them all. I actually got a bass worm on here. I live next to a pond like a little creek, and got a little bass worm on here, a little Cinco, shaky head. Yeah, this right here, I love this rod. Sam Super Sensitive. I'm also weird in that aspect. Is a lot of people like it seems like that's the new craze now, is the new like broomstick rods that are real stiff and you just yank the fish up out of the water. Again, I'm not a tournament fisherman, or I don't fish for big fish a lot of times, so I like these Sam Super Sensitive, and the sniper rod I have, man, you get a 9-inch fish on there, it feels like you're pulling in a shark. It's fun. I love the fight and all that. It's fun. And that don't let that rod fool you too. It's noodly, but it's got some backbone. I can't wait to try it on some sand bass and maybe even a hybrid or two in the creeks. Next level fishing. What's up, Kid Crappie? What's up, man? How's it going? Hope everything's going good. Fishing with Camo Joe. What's up, brother? Just thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Hope everyone's doing good, and I don't know what part of the country you're in, but hopefully you got some better fishing going on than I do at the moment. Miss Lou Outdoors. What's up, buddy? Keep the content coming. Are you going to make more videos showing what you are looking for when locating crappie? Yes, definitely. Definitely. as I go, as the seasons progress, you know, I kind of break down each season and what I'm thinking for each trip, and how I go about finding those fish on those days. I definitely plan on doing that. I'm gonna try and be more instructional. A lot of my earlier videos, especially, they're just me catching fish. I wanted to kind of be more interactive and, you know, explain what I'm doing, as opposed to just going out there and catching a bunch of fish and all that. And by the way, thanks, Miss Lou Outdoors. Thanks for the good words. I appreciate it. Fishing with Fredo. How's Miss Smoky Eyes doing? Probably talking about my wife. She's doing good. She's ready to have them, but she's hanging in there. She's doing good. I cannot complain. She's a trooper. Jason Lane, appreciate all your videos and hope you keep them coming. Thanks, man. Thanks for watching. It really means a lot. Appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying to put my finger in the wrong spot so you can see what I'm doing still. Mark Williams. I bought one last year. Had the 7 foot and hate it. Too wimpy for me. Yeah, it's really a personal preference. You know, like I just don't like those real stiff rods. So yeah, you know, they got some different. B&M's usually are pretty on the softer side. I think like Bonehead, ACC is like a good middle. It seems like ACC crappie sticks have kind of like a in between, not too stiff and not too soft. Let's see. Fishing with Camel Joe, California. There you go. You got way better weather than we do. I don't even have to ask. I already know. It's been terrible here. Next level fishing. It's tough here in Oklahoma right now. I've been getting on a few good bass though. Yeah, them bass will bite a little better. I think the crappie are just finicky. And bass will usually, you know, you can usually catch a bass or two here and there. Miss Lou Outdoors. In the spring, are the crappie in the creeks? Yes. There's crappie spawning in the creeks, in as early as February. And let's see, and I mean, I catch them. Like I go fishing for sand bass, and I mean, a lot of times I'm fishing with just, you know, normal crappie jigs like this, and then, you know, like this, and Bobby Garley Monkey Milk. I'm just fishing with jigs, you know, just catching sand bass, and a lot of times them crappie will be mixed in, especially in them deeper pools. And then, you know, every creek's different, but, you know, yeah, you catch them mixed in a lot. That's fun. I love that. You cast out there and, you know, you don't know if you're going to catch a sand bass or, you know, 13-inch crappie, man. And I love casting for them, too. It's fun, especially if there's some current. Them crappie fight. People say crappie don't fight. They haven't got one in a creek on a little flimsy B&M pole and some 6-pound mono. They'll about pull you in the water. Let's see. I'm afraid I'll definitely be praying for her and the baby, sir. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. It's, I guess, you know, it's our first, and I'm nervous and excited, and she's the same. More excited than nervous, I would say, but definitely appreciate the prayers, man. Mark Williams, medium action, best I like. I have Pro Angler and B&M. Pro Angler, yeah, I've had Pro Angler. Their Pro Angler are just a little too stiff for me. I actually sold one to a buddy not too long ago. It's just a little too stiff for me. But yeah, I mean, if they work for you, man, that's good. It's all personal preference. There's no right or wrong rod to use. It's just, you know, what you like to do. Fishing with Fredo. I'm not sure if I should bring it up here, but I really still enjoy my Dump City crappie rod. Don't know what happened with that. Would have loved to try. I heard about that. Whatever happened to him? I heard he just like disappeared. I'm not real sure what happened, but I had heard that from someone else that they loved his rods and he just disappeared. I don't know if he, you know, I don't know if he squared up on all his rods before he did that, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Hopefully he's okay. He seemed like a good dude from what I saw. Hopefully nothing nothing's going on. Hopefully something just came up. You know, nothing too serious. Mark Williams. It's all about what you have confidence in. You got it. Confidence is everything. If you don't have confidence, when it comes to fishing, confidence is everything. I mean, you have to. It's just, I cannot stress it enough. It's everything. Let's see. Anybody else got any questions or comments? Or hope I got answered everyone's questions good. If not, just ask it again and I'll get to it. Yeah, I know the guy out in California's got way better weather. I'm jealous because man, it's been nasty here. Today was the nicest day in a long time. Sure would have liked to have been fishing, but I was at work. It's only nice when I'm at work. I have a weird work schedule too, so it doesn't line up with the weekend or nothing. Let's see, fishing with Camo Joe. 63 degrees today, water temps in the 50 to 55. I'm fishing a tournament next Saturday. There you go. That's not too warm. I thought it might be a little warmer, but California's pretty big. That's still not bad though. I think our water, it's a few degrees warmer than our water. Our water's probably 48, 50. It's probably went up a little today with the warm weather. Fredo, from what I heard, he was having a lot of problems getting a big order of blanks overseas, and they kept giving him the runaround. Don't think he gave them any money, but that's pretty much all I know. Yeah, that could be it. Our buddy Joey that makes sniper rods, he makes a few, but he doesn't do that much. I couldn't imagine trying to get all that material and mass producing rods like that. I couldn't imagine how much trouble you run into, and I definitely would like to learn how to make my own rods one day, but it's a lot of money from what I hear, from what Joey tells me. That's why Walmart clearance should be starting pretty soon to stock up on baits, line, etc. Yeah, Walmart's got some good stuff. Don't pass up Walmart. They got I don't have any here, but they usually got Mr. Crappie line. That's what I use right here, Mr. Crappie High Vis, year round. They usually have that there, and it's pretty cheap. That's the best line that there is, I think, in my opinion. Let's see. Nick, Jen. Oh, I think I skipped Jason. There we go. Jason, do you have certain lakes you primarily stick to? I have. Depending on the time of the year, there's certain lakes I stick to, but like I said earlier, I like to experiment and go different places and see new places. I get bored fishing the same thing over and over and over again. I like to try different things, go different places. I like to fish with minnows, mix it up. I'm not afraid to throw a minnow on there. But for the most part, I'm trying to think. I'd say 10 lakes, roughly, that I fish regularly, depending on time of the year and stuff like that, weather conditions and, so on and so forth. But I've fished just about every lake in DFW at some point or another. Nick Jan 2008. I've watched the channel for a while. Good stuff. We fish some same places here in North Texas. Good stuff, bro. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of good places to fish out here. It just take some time to learn them, but there's some good places. Next level fishing entertainment. Tomorrow's supposed to be 71 here. You ever do any troll for crappie? I don't. I don't really care for trolling. My boat's not set up for trolling. I don't have rod holders or anything like that. I'm just not into it. I mean, I would try it. I've did it before. It's just not. I prefer one pole and jig myself, but it is effective though, especially this time of year. Fishing with Camo Joe crappie tournament. There you go. Oh, they got some. Is it like a main trail or is it like a small club type tournament? There's some pretty good sized crappie trails over here in Texas. They actually just had a tournament. Crappie Anglers of Texas just had a tournament on Palestine yesterday, I think. And one guy almost caught a 3-pounder, 2.98, I think. That's crazy. Jason Lane. I'm here on Belton, and at times it tends to be a tough lake. I had a buddy who, I think he moved down there. He used to be on the slip with me back when I had it. He's caught some crappie out there, but he seems like mostly bass fishes out there. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I've heard it a lot. Fishing with Camel Joe. Plastic or hand ties? It's a good question. Both. There's a time and place for both. Hand ties, I'll give you a basic rundown. Hand ties in the dead summer when it's hot and fish are finicky, them small little hand ties, they'll put some fish in the boat. And then I like hand ties in the winter. Whenever that when the water's real cold, those fish are lethargic, I feel like a hand tie gets a little better bites sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And then just as just profile as well. Wintertime I usually use a little bigger one, and then in the summertime I use a real tiny little little hand tie. Yeah, like this is a pretty normal size one. I think it's like probably like 1.25 inches. The ones in the summer are probably like 1 inch, because all those shad in the summer are real small. I usually try to match the hatch, and that helps a lot. Mark Williams. I was buying line $1 a spool on clearance back to soft plastics from 25 cents to $1. Yep, they mark them down cheap, and it's time to stock up when they're marked down that cheap. You can't beat those prices. Belton Lake, Frank's Marina used to be good in the winter. I wish I knew more about that lake, Belton Lake. I don't really know a whole lot about it. Spillway as well. Mark Williams, 2 divisions for Cat now. Yep. I think they've had 2 divisions for a couple years now. They used to only have 1 when they first started. But yeah, there's 2 divisions. I think if you're a guide or have won so much money, you have to fish Division 1. But I'm just not really into the tournament scene. That's just not my cup of tea. Jason Lane, thanks, Mark. Hair during spawn, don't have to keep putting baits that tear off. Yeah, they work year round, and they definitely don't have to. They definitely don't. In the spring, they'll bite whatever. I mean, they will literally bite whatever, and it's nice because they will tear them jigs up real quick in the spring, because they slam them jigs in the spring. Fish, I'm afraid of. I'm gonna put you on the spot. LOL. Do you still fish with minnows? Yes. In the summertime, mainly. The fish on my lakes in the summertime, sometimes you don't have a minnow, you ain't gonna catch fish. It's that simple. I mean, I did it several times in the last couple of years. I'm sitting at the brush pile is loaded. There's like 100 fish, no lie, on these piles. 100 fish plus, and I drop a jig down there and I don't get bit. Nothing. Drop a minnow down, boom, catch a fish. Drop a minnow down, boom, catch a fish. I mean, I learned real quick. I'm into catching fish. If I got to put a minnow on there, I'm not scared. My grandpa, I mean, he taught me how to fish and took me fishing all the time, and all we used was minnows. He still, to this day, he does not like using jigs. So he kind of, I was the same way before I learned how to jig, and but yeah, I still use them. I mean, they catch fish. And the same with sand bass in the spring. Sometimes in the spring, them sand bass, especially in the clear water, them sand bass get a little finicky sometimes. And those minnows, and they'll get that minnow real quick. Mark Williams, heard started this year. It might have. I don't really follow. I thought it was earlier, but like I said, I don't really follow the tournament scene too much. I don't really know. I think Ernest was talking about it. Yeah, I think Ernest was the one that started it too. He's a good dude. Like I said, he took me fishing back on Cedar Creek, him and Guy, first time I think I was on a boat, a long time ago, and that was something I'll never forget. They're good guys. Fish I'm afraid of. Well, I do not, sir. Just kidding. I do. I know you do. I've seen your videos. You use them. They work. If they work, I'll throw them on there. That's for sure. Chase Lane. Do you think a lake full of white bass will affect how good the crappie fishing will be? You know, to be honest, I don't think that really makes a difference. I really don't think that makes a difference. Because a lot of the lakes that I fish have big sand bass populations, and hybrids too, and stripers even in some of the lakes. And them crappie they do just fine. You catch good size fish, and I don't think it makes a difference. I think actually to be honest, I think it helps because them sand bass eat them baby crappie down and keep them in check to where they can get good size and they're not stunted. So I think it helps if I'm being honest. But I'm no biologist either. I just think it helps based on keeping the population down. Take another drink of water. Let's see. I lost it there. Where did it go? Mark Williams. Ernest knows me. I used to fish with Eric a lot. Yeah, I remember Eric. He's a good dude too. It's a really good place in Seagoville if you're interested. In February, March, it's really good slabs. Average 1.5, 2.5. Kind of a grind, but rewarding. Can't get a boat down there though. I want to say I've heard of something in Seagoville like that. I don't really fish. I usually go through Seagoville going to Cedar Creek. Clear Lake Crappie Association was running it. Jinko and Big T were sponsors. Jinko, that's a pretty good sized tournament then. Good luck. I hope you do good. At least if anything, you got better weather than we do. Just started to use a cut shad last year and caught some awesome fish. Never knew of a cut bait for crappie. I have a lot to learn. Yeah, I cut some minnows up last year and just tip a little piece of minnow on there and they would slam it. And as soon as they bit that off or perch got it or something like that, they wouldn't touch it. It's funny how that is. Then other times of the year, it really doesn't make a difference. Fishing with Camo Joe, do you tie your own jigs? Yes. I have all the stuff right here. All the Chanels, and I tie them all. Different color Chanels. Feather in my face now. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. And you can make colors you want, however many of them you want, and all that. Environmental Center in Seagoville, run by the DISD. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it. I appreciate the info. There's lots of good places out there. There really are. So many places and so little time to fish. Seagoville just moved. I lost it. Just moved from there to CC, so I may know the spot. Yeah, good crappie in there, but big numbers. But small ones. Big bass in there too. I've seen a few 3+ come out there in the spring. I fish a lot of. I live in Irving, so there's a lot of gravel pit and stuff off the Trinity River. I grew up fishing a lot of that stuff with my grandpa, and there's some big crappie in those little gravel pits out there. A lot of those little places like that aren't that well known produce some fish. I think very good bass there, mostly why I go, but slabs are great too. Hey, if you get big bass thrown in between them slabs, it helps. It helps the cause. Anthony, if I message you, would you give me tips on jig tying? I'm scared. Yeah, go ahead. I tell you what I'll do too is I'm gonna do on the next live. Remind me, and I'll tie a jig for you right there. I don't have time right now. I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon, but yeah, remind me next live, or just shoot me a message or whichever. Yeah, I have all the tying stuff right here. I can show you how to do it. It's no big deal. It's real easy. Once you get the hang of it, man, I can tie these like 20 or 30 of them in like 30 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Not long at all. Just let me know. Several 5-pound plus. Those are good sized bass. I don't bass fish a whole lot. I used to, but there's a pond right close to where I live, so I'm gonna try that in the spring. That's why I got that Senko shaky head tied on here. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I'm gonna try it. Sleep at the Real. Howdy, just joined the live feed. Thanks, man. Good to have you on here, Chris. If you need I was gonna say all these Fishing with Fredo. If you want some good videos, he posts some good videos. Definitely go check him out and check out Chris Gill as well. He's almost to 1,000 subscribers, so let's try and get him to 1,000 subscribers. He posts some good videos. I love watching him. Starting to lose my voice for some reason. Hey, that would be awesome. Yeah, man. I'm down to help. Just let me know. Up the Street used to be good. Mark Williams, till they drained it, but it does have bass back in it. Sleep at the Real. Hello, bud. I've been tying for about 3 years. Yeah, I've been tying since Fishing with Camo Joe. I've been tying since I was like 14, 15. I've been tying since I was really young. It's just a lot of times it's just something for me to do. I mean, they work, but a lot of times it's something to do. Like when the weather's bad, like it has been, I can just tie a bunch of jigs and paint a bunch of jig heads. I can paint my own jig heads too. I can buy them painted, but it's cheaper this way, and it gives me something to do. Let's see. Mark, what's up, Chris? Sleep at the Wheel. Thanks for the shout out. Much appreciated. No problem, man. You post some good stuff. I enjoy it myself. I hope you did good at the tournament, by the way. I didn't see how you did. I think I missed it. I don't remember seeing it. Oh, there's Jason. How'd you do in the tournament? Are we gonna see a video? I'm looking forward to that video, Chris. I haven't seen how you did. I hope you did pretty good. If not, at least you had some fun. Fishing Fred, thanks for the shout out, buddy. I'm all over the place with vids. Hey, you got multi-species going on. Hey, I tell you what. You teach me how to catch catfish? I need to know how to catch catfish. My grandma and my in-laws they want some catfish bad, and I don't really know what I'm doing. If you guys, we go fishing. We need to go try and catch some catfish because I get in trouble every time I catch one by accident. I have to keep it, and they all get so excited for them 1 or 2, and every now and then I catch a flathead, and they like that. Yeah, I definitely need to learn how to catfish. That's my one weakness, I would say. And bass, too. I usually am more of a sand bass and crappie hybrid guy. Chris, I was just talking about jig tying on my last live last week. Got a bud close that is going to show me how to make it better. I just have to learn that stupid whip finisher. That's... whenever I do that, I'll show, I'll probably just go live, and do that next time. But I don't even do a whip finish on mine, and mine stay together. I don't have to show you guys, but I just twist it with my finger 2 or 3 times, and then just pull it down tight. Twist it, pull it down tight a couple times, and they stay on there. I don't ever have any come apart on me. I don't even use any super glue or anything. Let's see. Fishing with Camo Joe. I mostly do most of my time in the winter. Yeah, that's usually the time to do it. Chris, attorney. Well, Thursday is the pre-fish video, and the next week the tourney video. But I will say I lost paying spot to a friend of mine. I had 1023 and 1057. Man, that's good weight. That's pretty good weight still. Especially for the conditions, because man, I know y'all got a lot of rain out there, Chris. I'll be out there at Palestine sometime this year. I'm gonna go out there and shoot some docks. I was out there not too long ago, just looking around, and man, that lake is dock shooter's heaven. I'm. It looks better than Cedar Creek, really. To be honest, I'm gonna have to go out there and try it. That's definitely on the list as soon as they get on there. Oh, buddy, I can get you on cats. I tell you what, let's do it. I'm down, man. Yeah, I'm down to catch some catfish and eat them. I love eating some catfish. Had some the other day, actually. Fish with Camo Joe. What isn't hard, just starting slow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever did it. I don't think I've ever even seen how to do it, so I probably don't know. Fish with Fredo Chris, at least you lost to a friend. That's true. It's better to lose to a friend than someone else. Mark Williams, May, June, pretty much any rocks, bobber, and bait punch, bait few feet down, hang on the spawn during that time. That's what looks fun, that cork and punch bait. I've seen some videos on that. I don't really know what to look for, what time to go to, what time of the year. I'll definitely have to do that. Hopefully Fredo will help me out with that, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Chris, good to know. This is what I was doing, but I figured I would try it the right way. It is hard. Hey, get with me when you do get here. That would be a fun video. Shoot a video with both of us. Hey, I'm down. I'll definitely let you know. It'll probably be, it'll probably be April or May. Whenever them fish get on them docks good. I'm assuming it's like Cedar Creek. For debating if we are still friends. LOL, JK. Oops. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. Get some. I already got the the videos rolling back in. I was actually without a computer for the longest time and just got busy and just didn't really. I was filmed some on my phone and I had some filmed that I just didn't have edited, but as soon as I got the computer, I edited them and threw a bunch on there. So I definitely try and at least post every week, or at least go live or something. Chris, yes, that's a good time to come. They are already hitting the shallows now. End of April and May is a good time to fish. Yep, that's kind of what I figured. I'll be down there at some point. I'll let you know. It'll probably be during the week. I have a weird work schedule. I'm usually off during the week. Yeah, I'm ready. I actually went down there and fished that bridge one time. Caught some fish. There's some nice fish. Mark says, LOL sounds familiar. Yep, sure does. Alright, y'all. I think I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I enjoyed this, though. This was fun. Chris says I'm retired, so not a problem. Shoot me your number. Okay, will do, man. As soon as I get off here, I'll shoot you my number. But, yeah, I think I'm going to get off here, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I really appreciate it. Fish with Camo Joe, whoever painted your room did a nice job. Straight lines. LOL, I'm a painter, just noticed. Thanks. I don't have no idea. It's an apartment, so I don't have no clue who painted it. It looks pretty nice, though, I do have to admit. Chris. LOL about the paint. You're welcome, Camo Joe. But thanks again for watching. Thanks again for watching all my videos. I really appreciate the support. Fredo says, I had all the tackle for cash. Just bring yourself. Live around the corner from the boat ramp. Awesome. Yeah, I don't have it. I'll be trying to catch them on them Sam Heaton. How about pull me in the water? You might have to come in there and get me. Yeah. So I appreciate the support in general. don't ever forget. If you have any questions, just comment on the videos, and I will get to them. I do my best. I'm always willing to help anyone out. If they got any questions about how to fish, or where to fish during the time of the year, or where to look and things like that. So definitely don't forget to comment and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell as well. That way you get notified every time I go live or post a video or something like that. So I'll do some crappie stuff too, but there's going to be a lot more sand bass stuff coming up. Some sand bass and crappie mixed. Just depends on what I get into, and what the weather conditions allow to, and my time. So it's going to be a little strapped for time here coming up soon. So yeah, don't forget to do all that, and hope everyone has a good night and a good work week, and stay safe. Good night, bud, and good night, everyone. Got to go put someone to sleep. LOL. Good night, Fredo. Hope you have a good week, and we'll see you on the next one. Chris, everyone needs to like this. Only 11 likes. Come on, guys. Thanks, man. Yeah, like it. If you like it, that way I know you enjoyed it, and I'll definitely keep it in mind the next time I do another one. And I really appreciate all the support. I cannot say that enough. I really appreciate it. Mark says take care, Mark. Don't go too hard on them fish down there. Save some for me. All right, guys, hope everyone has a good week, and thanks again for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See you soon. Bye.